The Welsh Show is proudly sponsored by Waterstone Homes. Built for life.
I'm Lisa Rogers.
And I'm Paul Child.
And this is The Welsh Show. On tonight's show, I'll be chatting to Wales rugby captain Sam Warburton.
I take a look backstage at the Millennium Stadium.
There's music and chat from Jayce Lewis.
Plus, Enzo Calzaghe is here to talk to us about his new book.
Hello and welcome to The Welsh Show, the show that brings you everything that's happening in Wales. How's your week been, Paul? Any good?
Very, very busy, very excited with the Six Nations coming up.
I've started to get those butterflies. Yeah. You know, when you wake up in the morning, it's the first thing you think about.
Exactly, yeah. Are the players all fit? Is everybody okay? Have we got a team?
Are we going to turn over Ireland again this year?
Certainly hope so.
Fingers crossed. Well, before we talk more about the Six Nations, I'm delighted that we're joined by somebody who has produced, well, a true Welsh world champion. It is Enzo Calzaghe today. How are you doing?
I'm glad.
Now, you've written this rather lovely book, Enzo Calzaghe, A Fighting Life.
Yeah.
Of course, for anybody who's been living under a stone for the last 50 years, the Welsh champion we're talking about is, of course, Joe Calzaghe.
Yeah.
But you had another life entirely before boxing, didn't you? You were a footballer, you were a musician.
Yeah.
How did you go from that to working
in
in boxing?
When I went back to, before I came back to the army, I'd done my national, so obviously the Air Force, and I played soccer. That's a good thing. I spent a year playing soccer with them, so I had an easy life on there. And I come back, and I thought, go Europe, you know. Let's go see and do the old hitchhiking and we can get used to the stuff, and which I did, of course. Made my way, go through, searched it all. I thought, where do I go from now? I don't know. Go back home probably, or no. So I did the old fat thing with the finger, where the thing takes you. It took me to a place called Rotterdam. So obviously I had no money, nothing. I had a little nail, I had a little, what do you call it, one little ring on my hand, and I asked the captain of me to come on the ship. He said, we're a tomato ship.
Tomato?
Yeah, tomato ship.
This gets madder and madder.
It does.
It's a tomato. I said, no, yeah, it's a tomato ship. It's a tomato ship, not banana, tomato ship, right, from Rotterdam. So I said, can I get on board on the ship? He said, I've got the money. So I had a nice little ring with a gem on it, and then someone gave me in it. Said, okay, give me that, he took the ring off me. So I came over to England on a tomato ship.
Brilliant. I'm just thinking, is this you in the middle here?
That's Errol Flynn. Sorry.
It does look quite similar, actually.
Yeah,
in your band
it's,
days.
It's me, yes, of course it is, yes, yeah, it's me. And that's my brother.
Very rock and roll. So this tells the whole life story, and of course, the training of Joe as well.
Yeah. That's when Joe was 9 years. Well, it started at 9 years old, of course, and you know, it's the story speaks for itself. Like
great stuff. And what would you say was your proudest moment of your life so far?
I think the proudest thing in my life about the family I had. You know, it's not because obviously my family, my daughters, my dad, my mother. You know, I look and see how hard they had it. To me, it was absolutely why probably I decided to leave, because I didn't want to be castigated with the same format that mother and father had, working their guts out day and night for keep a family. In those days in Sardinia, they're not such as social services and benefits. Sure. If you don't work, you have no money. And that's all Dad being an absolute rock hard man, crying in tears. You know. So of course, Mum, she did from whatever 7 jobs a week, you know, different jobs. So to see that, and I thought, hang on, do I really want that? So that's the reason why I thought to myself, let's see if I can explore somewhere and become a different, you know. But the going to the proudest moments I had, it was Dad and Mum. Of course, they really looked after us, and just leave things looked after in a certain manner.
Yeah, there's a great photo of you when you're a little bubba with your mum.
You know, that's Mum. That's Mum. And,
gorgeous.
You know,
there are some really good photos in this book, actually.
There's some great pics.
There's some great pictures of you and Joe in the ring as well, isn't it?
There's a rather handsome young man here who's done all right as well, Mr. Cleverly.
Oh, Cleverly, yeah. And that's train them all. But the thing I was going to say is basically, known because of Dad and Mum, that brought me the format how to teach my kids. And if you look at Joe, he's very similar to me, very tight with his family, not tight in the sense that, you know, really my canine with his kids. But as he tried to, I think, what I gelled into Joe is a passion between father and son that we got as well. Like I had the same part, you know, so it's great. So the proudest moment would obviously be dad and mum.
Sure.
I had.
And at what point did you realise that your son had what it took to be world champion?
I think we called it, we started off with fun. There was no plan, obviously. I wanted to be a soccer player. No, I wanted, but Joe wanted to be a soccer player, you know, and basic things like that. I started off with a speedball and things motorised that kids enjoy something at age 7 years old and whatever. So I was doing it, he was enjoying it with a speedball there in the house. And as it was, I got to say this, the luck I had that in Newbridge, when I moved to Pentramal, it's a barren place. There was nothing in Pentramal. Okay, but what thing there was there I didn't know. I didn't know there was a gym literally 800 yards from my house, the famous Newbridge gym.
Yeah, of course.
So without, think about it, without that, while I was doing my music or doing this in my life, whatever, Joe wouldn't have got there at all, would he?
No.
There was no cars in those days, money around. So I can imagine without that gym, the pure luck that I went to Pentramal to live. If I lived in somewhere else, it never happened.
He went from Pentramal to fighting at the Millennium Stadium, of course.
Yeah,
a place that you know pretty well. And of course you went for a VIP tour of the Millennium Stadium, I
did a
believe.
little trip with, obviously, the Six Nations coming up this week, Wales versus Ireland this week. I thought we'd have a little look around the stadium.
Great stuff, and so you'll probably remember all this.
Oh,
Enzo, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
The book is out now. It's a fantastic read, a fantastic life, a great, great story, Enzo. And the book is out now. We wish you well with it.
Thanks a lot, thank you.
We're here at the home of Welsh rugby, the Millennium Stadium at the heart of Cardiff, ahead of this year's Six Nations, where Wales will hope to retain their crown as Grand Slam champions. I've had the privilege of leading the singing here many times. Today, we're going to have a little look behind the scenes. When the bus brings the team in from their base at the Vale Hotel, they'll come through here, up these steps to the home team dressing room. Tours of the stadium have been available to the public for some time, but this year the WRU have decided to take it one step further. You can now book to be shown around this magnificent stadium by some of the legends that have played for Wales both here and at the Cardiff Arms Park, starting on the 12th of March when the one and only Gareth Edwards could be your tour guide. The Welsh team's dressing room has become known as the Dragon's Lair. The shirts here at the moment are from last year's team who beat France to win the Grand Slam. But on Saturday, the team of 2013 will gather here and make their final preparations before their first match of this year's Six Nations against Ireland. This is the press suite where all the post-match interviews and the team announcements are made. And just recently this room was rebranded in honour of the great Ray Gravel. And all around the room you can see fantastic pictures of Grav through the years. A true legend of the Welsh game, Ray Gravel sadly passed away in 2007 at the age of 56, and it's very fitting that the Welsh Rugby Union have decided to rebrand this room in honour of Grav. The last time I was here was Grand Slam Day last year, when at half-time during the match against France, I went out onto the pitch and sang Cwm Rhondda, or as us rugby fans know it, Bread of Heaven, with the crowd. What a day to remember that was. I wanted to find out a bit more about what goes into the preparations for an international day. So I had a chat with the man responsible for the smooth running of the day, the Welsh Rugby Union's Alex Luff. It might look empty today, but up here on level 5 is where, if you're very fortunate, you can enjoy the match in a luxurious box with a 4-course meal, fine wines and the best view in the house. So here we are up in the President's box with the Welsh Rugby Union's Alex Luff. Good to see you, Alex.
Good to see you, Paul.
The table is set, Alex. The pitch is in place. The Six Nations almost upon us once again. Tell me, when do you start preparing for the Six Nations?
Preparations and planning starts almost immediately after the final whistle. The teams get together. We look to always try and improve on what we've delivered over the previous season. But really, the match day preparation really gets down to the focus and the detail. About a month out is when we get all the planning meetings, liaising with local stakeholders, working with the teams themselves. The team liaison officers are coming down, working with our event management team to make sure that every single detail is ready for that kick-off.
It's a huge, huge undertaking, and for instance, in the bars and restaurants around here, there must be hundreds of them. Give me some facts and figures. So how many pints of beer are you going to sell on Saturday?
On an average international, we sell about 60,000 pints of beer to the fans. On top of that, there's about 13,000 hot and cold snacks are sold, and we also look to source a lot of our produce locally from around Wales. We're one of the biggest buyers of local produce on a match day, and over the Six Nations as a whole, we can buy as much as 60 kilos of cheese, 30 kilos of Welsh salmon. So we really try and buy Welsh where we possibly can.
Except, of course, this Saturday we've got any Guinness in for the Irish?
Oh, we make sure the bars are ready and are stocked ready for the Irish fans, so Guinness is definitely available.
Excellent. So kick-off is 1:30 on Saturday. What time do you be clocking in?
I'll be clocking in around about 7 o'clock. Couple of meetings with the staff to make sure that last minute preparation is ready, and then we'll be opening the gates to the public normally about 2 hours before kick-off, and the teams themselves will be turning up at 12 o'clock.
At 12 o'clock, okay, great. And the pitch, I must say, is looking absolutely fantastic. See, the lights are on it, and the grass is looking green as ever. How long has the pitch been in?
This pitch has been in now since the end of the summer. So
right.
We brought it in after the Speedway Grand Prix, and it'll stay in now till the end of May in readiness then from our summer season of events. But this pitch will be our Six Nations pitch as well as the Autumn Series pitch.
And how many groundsmen do you have working on the pitch?
There's 3 full-time members of staff, and they're working around the clock to make sure that the pitch is in fine fettle and ready for that opening weekend of Six Nations Rugby.
Fantastic. Well, I've been fortunate enough to be here on a few occasions before the gates open, so I've seen the security operation that goes on before the fans are allowed in, you know. So how many stewards do you actually have going around?
Well, the stadium actually employs around about 800 members of staff on the stewarding and security front. But on top of that, the inward investment that this stadium generates is about 2,500 people are directly employed as a result of the main internationals that are hosted here in Cardiff.
Fantastic. So we're up here in the hospitality suite, and I understand that you have got some very special chefs lined up for the hospitality guests.
We're always trying to bring new things to the marketplace and give our clients the most cutting edge in offerings. So we've now launched Bryn Williams. Bryn is bringing his style of cooking to the Millennium Stadium for the Wales versus England game. So for an £850 ticket, you get his food, his menu, and the best seat in the house. Great stuff,
great stuff. Well, we had a fantastic look around the stadium today, and I know that the tour has been available to the public for quite some time, but you're bringing something extra special to it this year. I mean, I understand you've got a legend like Gareth Edwards to show you around this stadium. Who else you got lined up?
We've been very fortunate, Paul. We've now been able to announce the fact that Gareth Edwards, Phil Bennett, Scott Quinnell and even Shane Williams is going to be here. They'll be taking a tour around the stadium, telling the fans their own unique style of what goes on an international, so it should be truly memorable.
Absolutely fantastic. And just one other thing, apart from the rugby, of course, we've got the Six Nations to look forward to. We've also got Judgment Day coming up with the derby matches.
We do indeed.
And what else have we got coming up in this year?
Well, we've got a packed calendar of events after the Six Nations. So as you say, we've got Judgment Day on March the 30th. That's all 4 regions with Wales's top rugby stars playing in the stadium on one day. Should be a fantastic day of rugby. But on top of that, we've got our summer schedule of events. So Rihanna, Bruce Springsteen and the Speedway Grand Prix are all coming back to the stadium. So it should be a hot summer in the Millennium Stadium.
Fantastic. Alex, thanks so much for your time.
My pleasure.
Have a great Six Nations.
Thanks, Paul. All the best.
You look like you enjoyed that, Paul. In your head, were you going out on the pitch in a red jersey?
Well, I've been fortunate to go out on the pitch before the matches and sing the anthem a few times, but it's one of those things, I don't envy anybody who go out in the red jersey. They're so big these days and they're so blocked up, it just scares me the life out of me.
I know, but every Welsh bloke I've ever met, you know, somewhere in his inner fantasy, he has played rugby for Wales. It's got to be true, isn't it?
Oh, God, yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, tickets for the senior matches are sold out this year at the Millennium Stadium, but if you want to see the future of Welsh rugby, you can see the under-20s play against Ireland and against England up in Colwyn Bay in North Wales.
And if you want to hear from our Welsh rugby captain, Sam Warburton, then come back and join us after the break. See you then.
See you then.
The Welsh Show is proudly sponsored by Waterstone Homes, built for life.